What's up, y'all? Today we're going to be reviewing chapter 10,050. What's up, y'all? Today we're going to be reviewing chapter 1056 of One Piece, titled Cross Guild. Let's just jump into it. The chapter begins with another special page of Uta. She's writing another one of her songs titled The World's Continuation. That's about it, really. I mean, we see her walking with Shanks, and we see some lyrics from the song, but that's basically it from that. So let's get into the actual chapter now. The cover page for this chapter features Katakuri and Oven facing off against Germa. As with the last chapters, this is a cover story featuring Germa's escape from Whole Cake Island after the events of the arc. The chapter properly begins right where the last one left off. We see Reveiw and Shinobu in critical condition after their attacks from Green Bull. And we see that Kinemon is very upset that he was in Curie while all of this happened. He was completely oblivious, he says, and Dogstorm and Cat Viper say, it's all good, bro. They say they were able to avoid any casualties thanks to Momonosuke's bravery. They then ask how Otsuru-san is. Kinemon then mentions how Okabore town was reduced to ashes after the attack by Green Bull, and Suru suffered a nasty burn to the face. An old lady mentions that Suru is from the capital herself and asks her if she has any plans to move back. Suru says yes, she always wants to be by Kinemon's side. Kinemon then says, wow, even after 20 years, Suru is as gorgeous as ever. We then see that the leaders of Zou had summoned Carrot to tell her she'll be the new ruler because they wish to stay in Wano. At first, what they ask doesn't even register in Carrot's head. She says, me, ruler? Sure, no biggie. She then says, wait, me, ruler? No way, I can't possibly take charge. Cat Viper and Dogstorm say they've decided to stay in Wano to serve as Kozuki retainers and protect Momonosuke. They then say that she's grown very reliable over the course of her adventures with Luffy. She's definitely got what it takes to lead the next generation. Carrot then rebuttals with, but some of the others are way stronger than me. Then we see the Three Musketeers say, true enough, that's why you can trust us to protect the country for you. We then see Wanda say she'll stay by Carrot's side and that the Dukes chose wisely. The Dukes then say that they'll leave Zou to the youngsters. We then transition to the capital where we see Sukiyaki introducing himself to Momonosuke and Hiyori. One of them say, you're our grandpa? He then says, yes, Oden was my son. Sukiyaki then immediately apologizes, saying that he is in their debt. He then says that Momonosuke is truly the spitting image of Oden. Momonosuke then begins crying and says, after losing our parents, it means a lot to find out that we still have family. Hiyori continues by saying, right, please don't apologize. Sukiyaki then says, so I take it the rest of you really did know about me. We then see that most of the scabbards did indeed understand that he was at least no ordinary swordsmith, but then in classic Kinemon fashion, he thinks he was Sukiyaki-sama all along. What a shock. Still, I'm glad he is well. Sukiyaki then says there may be some things he can shed light on. He then says, when that's done, I implore you to let me live anonymously among the people. Kinemon says, absolutely. Just knowing that you're alive out there is a great comfort for us. He then thinks, this is unbelievable. We then transition to the Straw Hats. Frankie says, what? Pluton's in this country? Robin says, yes, I didn't get the chance to see it myself, but there's no mistaking it. Frankie is in shock as he says so. It really exists. We then see all the Straw Hats sitting around each other. Luffy says, didn't you torch the blueprints for it, Frankie? Frankie says, yeah, Pluton is an ancient weapon named after a god. You want it, Luffy? Luffy says, nah, I'm good. He then says, I thought you'd say that. Still, I can't help but wonder, why would Oden want to unleash it? Shinobu and Tama then enter. Shinobu says, come again? Did you say that mature ladies are alluring ancient weapons? Frankie then asks, the hell are you? Shinobu then says, it's me, Shinobu. I know, I'm nothing but skin and bones after that incident. Sanji is just absolutely enthralled with her now. He says, whoa, that's some glow up. Tama then tells Luffy that she's gonna become Shinobu's apprentice so that she can become strong and join the crew next time her and Luffy meet. Luffy agrees and says, sure, if you keep up on your ninjutsu training. We then see that Caribou was listening in and he thinks Pluton's in Wano, first Poseidon, now this. There's a certain someone who'd love to hear about this. I believe the person that Caribou is referring to here is Blackbeard and that Caribou is the 10th Titanic captain. We then get a short time skip of a few days. Momonosuke is walking around in the Flower Capital as some citizens tell him that they finished the restoration plans for all the various villages resources and the funds have been calculated. Momonosuke begins walking away. We see as some citizens call for him, but he just keeps walking. Momonosuke then enters the room where the Straw Hats were. He says, "Hey, Zoro, can you teach me some sword?" We then see that the Straw Hats have all left. Momonosuke begins calling out for them, going in the order of which they joined. As he's running to find them, he continues to go down the list. We see him searching through various rooms before he eventually ends out on Yamato. I think this is about all the proof we need to really find out that Yamato is indeed joining the Straw Hat crew. Momonosuke then asks, "Where is everyone?" He goes to Hiyori and asks if she's seen any of them. Hiyori then says they all left earlier, right? Everyone came to say farewell this morning. Otoko says it's lonely without them and laughs. Momonosuke says, "What? But no one said anything to me." We then find out that Kinemon is also in the dark about their departure. We then cut to the 3 supernova crews in Tokage Port. Law says, "Just pick a different day to leave. Our alliance has already run its course. We're rivals again." Luffy says, "No way, we've already decided to set sail today." Kid says, "Let's at least pick different routes if we're all leaving now." We then see that their log poses are set in 3 different directions, northeast, east, and southeast. Law then tells them all to pick one. Luffy and Kid both choose the Middle East and Law chooses Northeast. Law then says, "Guess I'm set." Law then explains that the Northeast is the most direct route, so Kid and Luffy draw straws to decide who goes to the Middle East island and Luffy loses. Luffy then flexes the fact that he's an emperor on Kid and Kid gets upset saying, "What was that? You cocky emperors are an eyesore, but this one pisses me off the most." We then see exactly why and how Buggy became an emperor. He has started a group called the Cross Guild that features Dracule, Mihawk, and Crocodile. I am ecstatic at this because this means we're finally gonna get some more Crocodile content. Luffy is shocked to see Crocodile and Mihawk working under Buggy. Zoro says he can't even imagine Hawkeye doing that. Law says if he's capable of commanding men like this, then he's definitely a worthy new emperor. Luffy says, "Trust me, he's just a moron." Kid says whatever it was, it seems this cross guild of his is issuing bounties on Marines. Kid says now those Navy dogs have to watch their backs too. The hunters have become the hunted. Sounds like the world really changed while we were in this isolated country. He then asks if everyone's done whining about their routes. Once we leave Wano, it's every man for himself. Law then gives Killer and Kid a rubbing of the road poneglyph. He says y'all earned it too. It wouldn't be sporting to keep it from you. Killer then says so Kaido did have one. It's like the one we forced that Big Mom commander to hand over, huh? Killer then laughs and says if we want to stay ahead in the scramble for the One Piece, we ought to get serious about that guy. Kid says you want to go after the man marked by flames, but we've got no leads. Luffy then asks them what they're talking about, and judging from Law's facial expression, he knows something about it too, and maybe Robin does as well. Kid says, "You don't know? I guess we're a step ahead of you," and laughs. Luffy says, "Come on, spill it already." We then cut to the Flower Capital, where Momonosuke is wondering if Yamato is gone as well. She answers and says not yet. Kinemon then asks her if she's on the roof like usual. Yamato then says she's made up her mind. She's about to head over to Luffy and the gang. The chapter ends with Yamato saying it's finally time for him to live like Odin did. And that's it for chapter 1056. I just want to go over some closing thoughts I had. I mentioned it while I was doing the reading thing. I did mention that Momonosuke did go down the crew in order of which they joined and ended on Yamato. And as I said, I do think that is basically all the proof we need to know that Yamato is joining the crew and Carrot is not, because Carrot was issued to go lead Zoe. Another thing, Caribou, the person he's talking about, once again, as I said, is, in my opinion, almost certainly Blackbeard. I can't really see it being anyone else, unless maybe he's a Navy spy and it's Akainu, or Sakazuki rather. That's like the only two I can see it being, unless there's just some character we haven't met yet. But that's basically it for this. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace.